right, DFW Shed Sessions Podcast. We back with another week. It's gonna be a good one.
What up, though?
Yeah, Lupal Beats. We got the beautiful Professor Manuel.
Hey.
My good brother J Ell Groove, the co-captain.
What I tie?
Yo, that is funny. So we got my good brother, man. He decided to dress like a freshman on the first day of band camp.
With the white tee.
Had to get him fresh.
That's that fresh corner store white tee.
Yeah, I ain't seen no practice.
Good brother David Harris.
Yes,
back
sir.
on the pod.
Y'all make some noise for him one time.
It's a pleasure.
Friend to the room. Welcome back, man.
It's a pleasure.
How you been?
I've been great, man. How about yourself?
Oh, chilling.
Man, good.
Chilling. Doing all right. Same shit, different toilet. You know.
Man.
Right off.
That's about it.
Right up.
Sir. So let's just ease up. So what y'all do over the weekend, man? Anybody have any shows? Anything interesting?
Did I have a show? Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm. What?
Care to expound?
Yeah, ask the right question, get the right answer. Yeah, I did have a show. Yeah, just regular.
Shout out to Ivan Payne. He's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
My boy Ivan.
He said, "My guy Bishop Harris."
That's my bro. That's my bro. What up,
Yes,
Ivan?
sir.
My boy.
Good people's right there.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Phenomenal drummer too.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. Yeah, I feel like I've heard of him.
Yeah, man.
I feel like I've heard of him. But
Yeah.
yeah, shout out. Appreciate you for tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Please.
Yes, sir.
But I had a shout out to my good people at Nate Seafood. I do the Sunday Blues Jam over there or whatever. So yeah,
Already.
yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
regular day, nothing.
Regular
Stop that getting to it.
No Tim Rings, no, none
my
of
God.
that. No, none of that. So now we good over here.
Oh, so it was a good one then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean the wedding stuff, man. Friday I did a wedding. Of course, it wasn't with the company, but the one of the bass players that plays within the company that hit me up a few weeks ago about doing this wedding gig, and it was just a cocktail hour. Played an hour, did some jazz,
Yeah.
and since it was our people, of
Yeah.
course we didn't start on time. We got about an hour late, but we got a little extra on top of a pay. I guess
There you go.
He worked some things out, so
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't have no other gigs, so I like, man, we only downfall we was playing out in the heat.
Yeah.
Man.
Have you ever been played to play longer, like on the spot?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
For sure.
oh,
Person
yeah.
be like, "But, man, look, I'll give y'all the extra so-and-so, extra 500 to play for 30 more minutes." You sure right.
Shout out to Math Tracks.
Man, what's
Big
good?
man.
Yo.
Marks. What's up, boy?
What up?
You know
What
I'm saying?
up?
What's
He said
good?
you're a grown man, David.
Yeah. He been knowing me a long time.
Oh man,
Like
way back.
since we were little kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tyler Lott. What's
Yeah.
good?
T Lazy.
What up?
My boy.
T Easy. All
T
right.
Lazy.
All right.
So
That's
these
what's up.
names.
Well,
So-
lot of long. I say lifelong friends. I should say.
Ah,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
for
what's
sure.
up. What about you? You gig this weekend?
Man, I did, man. It was all church stuff. Had 2 rehearsals Saturday, normal stuff. Actually, shout out to Tim Clifton
Okay.
and Brittany Jones. They led a symposium, a worship symposium at the Potter's House in Fort Worth. Quick
Okay.
plug. Saturday morning actually went really well. Very proud of those two. They my leaders over at the church.
Cool.
Man, I actually did this gig with the twins, with the Siles twins,
Okay.
last
Okay.
night.
Yeah.
Man, one of the preachers of LA was one of the guys who spoke last night. His name is light skinned dude, Wayne Chaney Jr.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all watched Preachers of LA back in the day, but
no.
Yeah, this was like a reality.
it was,
Yeah, I
man.
remember
It was
Oh,
a
that's the
mess.
one
Yeah,
that
like,
Victor had
Yes,
on.
it was a mess. It was
Yeah, I
a
remember
mess.
all that. Yeah.
But he came in, I was like, where do I know this dude from? And the more I thought about it, I was like, but yeah, just a little stuff last night. Did some stuff with the bros last night. It was cool. Just
That's
light
what's
work.
up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what's up. That's good.
sure.
That's good. Lou, what you got?
Yeah, so I know you was mentioning about the Potter's House, and
Yeah.
just lightly. I'm not going to get too heavy,
Here we go.
but so I mean, with the whole thing with Bishop stepping down, has it made like any major impact with the church, like far as membership or anything of that nature? Or?
Lightly. Lightly. First, shout out to Bishop. Today's his birthday.
Oh,
Yeah, shout out to you. I saw
for sure,
that.
for
I
sure.
saw that
Today
for
Bishop.
sure.
So happy birthday, Bishop. Man, with any transition, you know, we talking about a guy. He been here since I think 95, 96. You know, when he came to the city
Yeah,
and
for sure.
ministry just kind of blew up. anytime you have a giant like that, that's stepping down, and his daughter and his son-in-law are taking over. I mean, there's always going to be just warranted change.
Yeah.
It's going to come along with it. You're going to have people that are just, they're going to roll with Bishop no matter what.
Yeah.
You're going to have definitely, his daughter, she has a very significant following just as well.
Yeah.
But then you're going to have people that just don't like change. Like,
Right.
that's just human,
for sure.
that ain't just relegated to church. So, it's definitely been a transition. It's still in the works. I'm at the Fort Worth campus, so I feel it a little bit less. Shout out to my pastor, Patrick Winfield III. Winfield II, my bad. You ain't got no third out there, Pat. Rev. But man, we taking it all in stride. Obviously our main focus is just to make sure we're doing everything we can for the ministry, make sure that it's solid. So Bishop actually came and spoke at the church last month, so it was good to see him, man. But folks gonna feel how they want to feel. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Christian Williams, what up? What is happening, man? That's a colleague of ours.
C-Dub, CB.
Yeah, man. We was all in band together. And all that.
CB.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Tashay back in. Okay.
What's up, Shay?
Tashay.
What's up?
Yeah,
What
she
is happening?
hit me up, but she said she want to be on the pod. We gonna try to
man.
we gonna try to figure something out.
Oh, yeah, we
because she doing some good
definitely-
stuff.
She would be a
I
great-
definitely
just
gotta get to
recently
Shay.
started following her.
She would be a
So
great
Shay-
guest, man.
I
She doing
think
some
she
dope
does
stuff.
vocal.
Shay,
Yes.
Kim Burrell Jr.
She does
She
vocal
don't-
coaching.
Listen, she don't know me, but I was like, oh, I'm preparing for this.
Yeah,
I'm preparing for
Hey.
this conference, and I got to sing it, and I'm like,
She
I need
been
to do
cold a
some
long
vocal stuff. And I'm
time.
singing like,
She's still a really best kept secret. She don't need to be though, man. She's phenomenal.
no, she is. I don't know her from a pint of beans, but her
She
page
cold.
is like so helpful.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
cold.
Instagram.
I met her for the first time about a year or so ago.
Yeah.
She's the worship leader at my brother. Shout out to both Dubs. She's the worship leader at his church.
Okay.
And so I went over there to sub one
Okay.
Sunday morning, and yeah, she did her thing. So yeah, shout out to her. But yeah, we booked up to the end of the year, but we got you. We gonna try to find a way to get you
Yeah,
on the
gotta get her in for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man. Please like, share, subscribe. Let somebody know where you at. Let somebody know to come tune in, chop it up with us. Y'all can interact with us, ask us questions. Y'all can do all that good stuff, man. We just chopping it up. We done already got to know David, so we ain't got to go from the rooter to the tutor today.
It's
So we
an
just
honor, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
an honor. To be back.
Now I'm wondering because we've had a lot of second guests. So you're a part of the second guest
All
list.
right.
We have not had a third yet. So I'm wondering who's gonna be our third.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for it.
We haven't had a third yet.
We haven't had the third
I feel
yet.
like we have.
We so only a couple people has been to so we got he's added to the list. Quentin Moore,
Gino Igor,
Gino,
Yeah, Gino definitely.
lawyer,
lawyer.
D'Anthony, but that don't count.
Oh yeah, because we had to,
Yeah,
yeah.
we had to do a redo.
Yeah,
okay.
Bo,
Bo is
Oh,
on
yeah.
there. Bo is on here every week when he not.
Right.
Mike Pugh was on twice, but his second time he was on as a guest host.
Yeah.
Okay, that's dope.
Because Lou was getting a tummy tuck.
Oh,
He was
okay.
out
Here we
getting a
go.
tummy
Oh
tuck.
my God.
So
Stop the cap.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm wondering who gonna be our you know what I'm saying?
You never know.
But we'll see. We'll see what
never
happens.
know.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's what's up though. So how long you been at the Potter's House for? Where?
Man, this fall will be 12 years. Y'all.
12 years.
12 years. Like
I
that's
didn't realize.
And you ain't tired yet.
man. I'm tired, but I ain't tired yet. I ain't tired yet, man. I mean, man, it's been so much of a journey for a lot of the good reasons. You know, when you get into church, you know, on any level, but especially, you know, when you're operating at the clip that they're operating at, man, like, you know, you always hear about horror stories and all this other stuff. Man, that's just not my story, man.
Yeah,
you know,
that's good.
I got a great pastor. It's been some phenomenal musicians who've been a part of the crew along the way, whether I've been in the MD seat or just been another member on the bandstand.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful, man. I'm really blessed, you know, to have been a part of this ministry for this long, and we still going, man.
I mean, 12 years, you see a lot of people, and you see a lot of people come and go. Like,
Absolutely.
I know you know, of course, you know, Bishop walking away, that's a big change. But but out of 12 years, it's been a lot of changes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would think it's like, bro, like y'all been around this long and there has been changes since then. So it's like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not just, you know, roll with it, play it out? The church ain't burned down.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Still there?
Ain't been, you know what I'm saying? It ain't been no crazy stuff. Of course, I mean, of course, you've had, you know, drama here and there, but I felt like even in that, Bishop handled himself well. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, I do gotta ask this though, man. Was it? It looked scary to me when he had that health scare on stage.
Oh man,
yeah.
We
Was y'all now? My only, and I know you're not like a part of the security staff, but my only issue with that is like, bro, it took way too long for y'all to get up there. Why it takes so long for them to get on that, you know, get him off that stage, man? Because you could see it was something wrong.
The initial health scare.
It was like, bro, at least 3 people would have been fired that day.
No, man, I think people are trying to be so sure because, you know, in the moment, you know, you got these thousands of people watching and it's like, you don't want to jump the gun, assuming something was going on, you know. But obviously, you know, it was significant. You know, it happened during church time, so I didn't find out till much later. I just start, you know, people kind of hitting up my phone. There's a kind of buzz on social media, and I was like, "What are people talking about?" You know, and looked it up, and you know, they a couple of people had it posted like they were watching it from home or whatever, and I was just like, man, you know, and so. You know, naturally, you know, folks who work there, everybody's talking, and you know, we were getting good news, you know, that day that hey, you know, he is conscious, you know, he's still under whatever watch he was under that particular day. But man, thankfully he came out of it, and you know, he's still able to tell the story and do what he needs to do, and can, you know, he's able to step down on his own terms, you know, as well.
Yeah,
Shout out.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Shout out. I've been trying to shout her out on YouTube. Shout out to Christiana Harris.
That's my sister.
She said, "Hey, my brother." I just wanted you to know that she was watching.
I got 2 of them. Both of them, Christiana and Melanie.
Okay.
Do
She
any
down
of them
there.
play the tambourine?
No, no. Christy is a great soprano in her own right. And my younger sister Melanie, she actually was in the band. She played clarinet and flute, and they done a number of things beyond that. But yeah, shout out to them. Chris Tyne, I see you, my boy. What's up, man?
Yep.
Yeah, man. What you got?
Yeah,
man?
so I got a question for both of y'all. So
What we got?
line musician,
A line musician,
and I came up with a term for this.
lying musician.
Like not telling the truth.
Okay, got
Not telling the truth.
it. I say lying.
I came up with this term like the other day. I call it lie stunt.
Lie stunt. Okay.
All right.
So this is I think every city has this, at least this one.
Okay.
When they talking about somebody major they play for,
Okay.
or they getting paid $30,000 a week.
Okay. What's your question?
So, what is the craziest lie stunt either one of y'all heard?
I mean, for me, it was the craziest one. Okay, so there's 2. Mm-hmm. One of them I heard. I wasn't there. I just heard that it happened. I heard that I don't know if it was Nam. But I don't know if it was Nam, but somebody introduced themselves to Sput as Sput.
Yeah,
bro,
we've
heard
that one.
I think everybody heard this story.
We've heard that story.
I don't know how true it is. We would have to get Sput on here to confirm.
Everybody heard this story.
That'd be a great interview.
I heard that there was a story where somebody was stunting and ran across Sput and said that introduced himself as Sput, Robert Sput Seawright.
Shout out to Chris Brenham and Mark Ayers.
Mark Ayers, what up, Chris?
What's up, Mark?
Oh, your sister's on here, David. Melanie Collins.
Oh, she got on too. Yeah, that's
She
her.
said woodwinds.
Yeah.
What's woodwinds?
She played clarinet and flute. Like she representing.
Oh, woodwinds. Okay.
Yeah.
Woodwind instrument.
Yeah. Multi instrumentalist.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one of the craziest ones that I've heard.
Yeah.
And then of course the one that went viral about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
With,
so I wanna piggyback or tag.
Why do you want that? That's so old.
Well, because
Chris said mercy.
from what I was told, I heard it was whoever the person that told Nail Sput, they told Sean Martin.
Okay, so the story that I heard.
This is like lore.
No, so the story that I heard, and like I said, we playing Telephone Man at this point. You know, it's gonna travel down. But what I heard was, they introduced themselves to Sput as Sput.
That's crazy.
And Spud was like, "Really, you're Spud?"
Right.
And then he went and got Sean. So
Yes.
hey.
See, I was told.
Tell him
this
who.
This how you know this is definitely
This might be a real story.
Because I was told that the person told Sean Martin that it was Spud, and Sean Martin went and got Spud and said, "Hey, Spud, meet Spud."
Oh, ain't no telling. It's one of them. But yeah.
Either way, how you gonna lie about being somebody you don't even know who they are?
Dude.
Like you ain't got no idea what they look like. That they would be in that space,
especially somebody as big as a Robert
right?
Spud.
Yeah. Right.
It's like that's not small potato. Especially when you're in a musician's setting.
Right.
Mm-hmm. This is a setting.
Where everybody.
Yes. This is a setting for like I said. I don't know if it was NAMM, but I'm from what I remember, it might have been NAMM.
It was some kind of space.
Yeah,
like that.
it was some kind of space where you got musicians,
folks who know folks.
Yeah, and it's like, come on, man, you don't do that.
Yeah,
you don't do that. But so that would have to be one of the because that.
But that's how you know you made it, huh? If somebody trying to be you.
Right. Yeah, I guess so.
I guess, but nah, man. One time years ago, back when I used to
Mark said, was it that guy from the Guitar Center?
Nah, it wasn't him. God. Well, I mean, one time many moons ago when I used to frequent strip clubs, one time, and so I used to drive this Chrysler 300, man.
Okay.
Chrysler 300 on 22s. This was my baby. This was my dream car, and I would get all kind of play and I be able to stunt and all that stuff. It was this one particular night. I just felt, I don't know. I guess I just wanted to try my luck and see if I can get in the strip club for free. And I told them, and this was like in 2010, 2011. I told them that I was on Ludacris's team and he was coming out with a new music video. Wow. He was coming out with a new music video, and he just wanted me to go around and search strip clubs and stuff like that, and they were falling for it. Man. They fell for it.
Who would fall for something like that?
You know what I'm saying? They fell for it. I was getting free drinks. I was getting free all that stuff. So I did that once. Okay. Shout out to Ludacris, one of my favorite rappers. But yeah, I'll tell him myself. So I've done that like once. But as far as like all the I was a youth. I was a youth back then. You know what I'm saying? When I was a child, I spoke as a child.
Right.
Shout out to Indigo Jones.
Indigo Jones, what's going on?
Yo.
But no, I really did that. And what I would do, how I would justify it was, I'm doing pretty well, as you can see. And then I would point at my car, and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, you must be doing, whatever. Now, it just so happened that it was a drunk white girl who was a stripper. She had just got off shift, and she was like, I know Ludacris. He did say something about another song.
Oh, so that just made it happen for you.
I was like, hey, but no, that really happened. So yeah,
but
as far as
does that count as a lying musician?
Well, no, I mean that was just me.
Just in general,
just general line.
Yeah,
just general line.
But nah, yeah. So
I've hit me a lick tonight.
But yeah, but nah. As far as like who I've played for, I ain't never, because I know too many people who know too many people.
This community too small.
Yeah,
man.
For it to be as big as it is, it's very small.
It's too small,
and there's no way you can get around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no way you can get around. Lying about who you done played for and who you done. Whatever. And then the internet just done got so much bigger to where, you can fact check anybody and anything. Yeah,
really.
Indigo said you always bragging about something, and then Tasha said Indigo Jones. Exactly.
I am not always bragging about something. I'm just very confident in what I'm capable of, including being on Ludacris's team.
For a night.
For a night.
That's funny.
For a night.
You know what I'm saying? Other than that, nah, that would be the biggest one I know. Like I said, that and Buddy from Sam Ash and Guitar Center.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be the biggest one I know.
Yeah, I know you got a crazy one.
Dude, I mean, we had plenty of guys just lying about where they play, how much they make. You know,
that was such a thing. And the guys always, how much you making?
Yeah.
They always want to be in your pockets.
Yeah, I think it's just it's too many of those. I got too many of those. There was a guy from Dallas before we got to PV. So the year before we got to PV. And shout out to Roger Chambers. We know one of the big bros. We met down there. A great bass player, lives in Houston. And he always talked about this guy from here who was down there lying about who we played for, you know, and all this other stuff. And I never forget when we got down there. So he finished attending PV. We'll say that. He didn't graduate. He finished attending PV.
He was a visitor.
Yeah, man. Got back up here. You know, I get down there. I meet Roger. He starts talking about this dude, and I'm just like, that dude don't do none of that. Like, you know, it's just one of them things. Like, man, you never know who you gonna be talking to, who you gonna be around, that kind of thing. But I mean, I got plenty of stories like that, but nothing, you know, nothing too outlandish. Yeah.
Yeah. So during the college days, when I came home for break. I ended up playing at this church, little Baptist church, whatever.
Okay.
And the drummer there, and at this time I just really didn't know too much of anybody as far as musicians or people in the circles. But so the drummer that was playing there, he kind of knew it. He did know everybody, and everybody knew him, but he wasn't out there like that. But at the time, he was like, "Yeah, I gotta leave rehearsal. I gotta leave because I gotta go to rehearsal. I'm playing with God's Property." Now this is 2000. This is like 2005, 2004.
Okay.
And me, you know, I'm just whatever. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
Months go by later. This is when I first meet like Aaron Henry and Gordon Pope.
Yeah.
Well, actually, was Aaron. He came into the conversation because he said at one point in time he was doing that, and then one time he said, "Yeah, I just got in last night, man. I had a plane trip, man. Just got back from playing for Erykah Badu." At that time, everybody knew Gino was playing for Erykah.
Right.
But like at that time, you know, I didn't know everybody at the time, but I told him this, and like Aaron like called Gordon right away. Man, this dude say he playing for so and so. I said, "Yeah." I'm like, bro.
That's funny, man.
Stop it, bro.
Man, I'm gonna pivot real quick, man. I ain't gonna lie, my heart does hurt a little bit, man. We lost a legend today. My Mount Rushmore of funk, Sly Stone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely on my. So for me is, and this will be a question that I'll ask both of y'all. You know, Mount Rushmore is funk. Mount Rushmore is 4.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We got the top 5 later on, but just for the sake of good conversation, and in the comments, y'all can do that too. So for funk, my Mount Rushmore is James Brown, Sly Stone, George Clinton, Prince. That's my Mount Rushmore when it come to funk. You know what I'm saying? So Sly Stone was definitely on my I'll allow myself, since it's my show too, I'll allow myself an honorable mention. What's my girl name? I can't think of a name right now, but I'm gonna come up with it in a second. But yeah, that's my Mount Rushmore.
Starts with a J?
No. So what about y'all? Who's on y'all Mount Rushmore? If we just talking about the genre of funk.
Sure.
I mean, for sure, James Brown.
I think that go without saying.
Yeah.
Like, we can't talk funk without James Brown.
Yeah. James Brown, Parliament. I'll say Sly is one. Probably, was that Tower of Power?
Okay.
Yeah, they was pretty solid too.
Tower of Power, for sure. What about you, Dave?
I think the only band we got to bring up Earth, Wind, and Fire too.
Oh yeah.
You know, they were. I think they were kind of transitioned a little bit between funk and R&B too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I got to make sure I mention them too.
They ranged. Yeah, they had such a wide range.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Were you talking about Liv?
No.
That's what Mark asked. He said, "You talking about Liv Warfield?"
No.
Oh.
No.
Little known fact about Sly. I know he came up in the Bay Area, but he was actually born in Texas.
Born in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was born in I forgot what part. But he was back staying out here for a while too.
Oh, I didn't know he moved back.
Yeah.
I know he moved young from Texas, but yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, I'm gonna find it. I promise I'm gonna find it.
It's gonna sit with you.
It's gonna bother me. This is my honorable mention. She died a couple years ago. It was her and
Mark said Denton.
Her band was called the Dap Kings.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I can't think of her name.
I ain't familiar.
I'm gonna look it up. The Dap Kings.
That was her band. She had a band called. Her band was called, it was her and the Dap Kings.
Oh man, Tyler with
Sharon Jones.
Sharon Jones.
There you go.
Sharon Jones. Yeah, I rock with Sharon Jones pretty heavy.
Tyler with a gym on the funk. Boosie Collins. Got
Boosie,
in there.
Bernard Wright.
But
for sure.
That's
DFW legend. For sure.
Boosie for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, Boosie, but Boosie is also a product of James Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have you wouldn't have a Boosie if you didn't have a James Brown. You know what I'm saying? Teaching him about the one.
The one.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
and he took that to George Clinton.
yeah,
actually.
and he took that to George Clinton.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you hear so many crazy stories about how they was moving and stuff back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with the drug influence and
Man.
stuff like that. Especially with
documentaries
what
out.
LSD made them do.
Man.
Yeah, they have some wild boy. George
You hear
Clinton was a wild
you hear
dude,
about
bro.
the story where James Brown fired somebody on the plane.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. He fired. So I guess I forgot what instrument or what it was, but so James Brown would take a private plane and his band would take a bus,
Right.
and he invited one of he told one of the band members to get on the plane with him, and that whole plane ride he was just telling him how he was effing up in this, and you doing this wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, while this plane is still in the air, you got a job.
When we land,
That is crazy work.
He said, while this plane is in the air, you got a job.
when we land, you done.
That's crazy work, bro.
I was like, dude. Jones, I think, Mr. Light. Yeah, it might have been Jones. Yeah. It might have been Jones, man. But yeah, man, so shout out to Sly Stone. Definitely a pioneer forefather. Yeah, that kind of hurt my heart. That kind of hurt my feelings, man.
Yeah.
It kind of hurt my feelings. Speaking of which, man, you had something that you wanted to.
Yeah, so
What was you talking about earlier?
Well, we're gonna go ahead and pivot over. Since you have on this good white T-shirt,
You gonna get off that man white T-shirt. First of all, it ain't dingy.
It's that that thicker quality.
That's the fresh
That's
first
that's
day
that Gillian.
before your shirt get dirty from all the band practice.
Man.
When he was a
It's
crab.
the first one. You sitting in the band room waiting on practice.
Yeah,
you
man.
know it's about to go down.
If you could pull up that video,
Man, what you got? What is this?
we just finna pull up this video and we finna get.
Which
just
one?
want your reaction. The one with the trombones. Yeah. Since we getting on the band things.
Oh, I see Night and Day. That's what you're talking about?
We had to take it. I think. Well, yeah.
What year is
18
this?
It says 18 years ago, but
Yikes.
yes, sir. Man,
Okay.
was hitting them joints.
Okay, so 18 years ago put us at 07. So this would have been this would have been my super senior year. Didn't march that year, was writing for the band, doing student directing, getting ready to get my certification for music education, all of that. So just kind of that extra year. But I recognize a couple of folks in there. Chris Williams from here.
Yeah.
A couple of others on there.
Well, they must have recorded that with a calculator.
Man.
That was
It's fun looking at them videos.
the old videos.
2007.
Jesus
man.
Christ.
It got to be one of the first camera phones.
Yeah,
Gotta be.
either
Had
camera
to be.
phones or them digital cameras.
Yeah, true that. Could be that too.
Could have been a Nokia, ain't no telling.
Not a no kid.
Good.
So, 18 years ago. Are you good?
Yeah. So since we on bands, have y'all been back to like any of y'all high school homecomings?
I don't want to talk about it. Me personally, I don't.
Jay, can you go back to yours?
I kind of don't want to talk about it.
Oh wow!
If
It's one of them situations.
I kind of don't want to talk about it.
I mean, yours is.
I mean, if you,
I can talk about mine.
I mean,
Can you talk about yours, Lou?
Actually, funny thing, I went to my last one this past fall, and it felt like.
Because I could talk about mine too.
I mean, Mel, if you just want to go to hell, you can. If you just want to.
Wow,
If you just want to.
that's aggressive.
Yeah,
This is
ain't
going.
If you just want to.
That's aggressive.
You need to go meditate.
Shout out to A. Maceo Smith, the Antonio Maceo Smith High School,
Yeah,
man.
Mr. Hendricks.
Yeah,
Back in the
yeah,
day.
yeah, man. That's my guy, man. We not here, but we still here.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever.
Wow.
Whatever. And you know what? It sucks because like so a couple. This had to be about like I say somewhere like 2015, 16 or something like that maybe.
Okay.
One of my homegirls at the time, she went to Lincoln. She was a drum major for Lincoln, and they had like some type of pep rally, and she asked me to come out.
Okay.
You know, so I went out, man, and I was sitting there, and I was just sick, man, because I'm like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't do this. I can't go back to, you know what I'm saying? When the last couple of years they were open, I did go back for homecoming and did the drum major thing or whatever.
Okay.
You know, a little out of breath, but I still
You got it in.
That was a couple pounds ago, but I was still one of them. I was still one of them dudes, man, on the drum major stick. But so shout out to drum major Buckham, may he rest in shit. But
wow.
Oh,
but
okay.
but
Jeez.
it is. I'm being facetious.
Oh.
Okay.
So Soul Man is one of my favorite movies. So
Okay.
but no,
Okay.
but no, so yeah, I was able to go back then because they shut Maceo down in like 2010, 11, I think.
It was a little while ago.
Yeah, it was a little while ago. So yeah, that kind of hurt my heart.
I'm sorry.
14, 15
Yeah,
years.
you know what I'm saying. But
Over
yeah,
a decade.
Yeah.
Did y'all have a
We have a what?
a reunion or what is it, like the 10-year prom?
Oh,
or whatever?
homecoming reunion.
Did y'all have
10
one
years.
since the school?
You know, but you know what? Sometimes they will. Sometimes they will, but it's for like the older class. Like the older class, they still get like 90s and stuff like that. They still get together and do stuff every now and again. But anything after that, we really don't.
Right.
You know, but shout out to, you know, our Maceo people, Tyrus, Charles Holloway, you know, all them cats, man. Let's sigh. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I do wish I can go back and like teach like the younger. I will say this though, there was a certain when I was in high school and in the band and stuff like that, there was a certain pride that we had.
Yes.
Our motto was discipline, pride, dedication, and there was a certain pride. There was a certain just thing that we had, and it's like over the years, it just seemed like that just kind of deteriorated. You know what I mean? It was a couple of them in there. It was a couple of them in there, but it's like, I mean, a lot of people joined band because Drumline came out and they thought Drumline was cool. But it's like we, you know, like even now, I will say this, like, you know, even with crabbing, right? Because we all, you know, you went to PV, I was in the band. We all got crab, but even with that, there was still like a limit.
Yeah.
They didn't literally try to kill you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much like basic training. You know what I'm saying? They didn't, but it's like cats started like just taking it too far and all that stuff. But I don't know. I don't know. We just had a certain pride about what we were doing, and we had a certain tenacity and oomph about, you know, getting on the field, marching, being better than the other school, going over our stuff, going over our cadences, going, you know, all that stuff, and just really wanting to be good and really wanting to be better. And you know, it something about that was just lost to me over the years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's the new name of AMACO?
I don't know.
Indigo said it's Barack Obama.
There is a Barack Obama Leadership Academy. I don't know if it's at Maceo's site or not. I know it's in Oak Cliff.
It was at Maceo's site. Okay. I don't know if it's there anymore.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's in a different spot now.
Bell Leadership.
Yeah, and then for a while it was a Maceo Smith Technical.
Yeah, it's New Tech High School.
Yeah, okay.
You can't associate with it. Can't get with it.
It ain't the same.
Understood.
It ain't the same.
That is funny to me.
Understood.
Yeah. She said, "Go Barack Obama."
But I was gonna say, to your point, man, I feel like band culturally just has shifted so much over the years. I think coming up in the 90s, you know, I'm an 80s baby, 90s kid. Man, there was just a different attraction to just music in general. Like what my mom was a big, I mentioned Earth, Wind & Fire earlier. She was a big fan of Earth, Wind & Fire coming up. Like, that was just something that, like, I just gravitated to, like, late 80s, early 90s, like, wanted to be a part of that. I started getting exposed to marching bands, hearing them playing those arrangements, and it was just like, man, you know, and even growing up in my home church in West Dallas, man, you know, 50 people on a packed Sunday, you know, 8-9 piece band. Like, you got horns in there, you know, guitar players.
And they can actually play.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody could play, and it was just, man, it was just different. And I just feel like the attraction to, like, being an instrumentalist has just changed. And, you know, you talked about the pride that came along with it and all of that, man. Like, you wanted to put the work in.
Absolutely.
You didn't want to suck.
No, absolutely.
You wanted to be the person that could talk about somebody else sucking. You know what I'm saying? Which means you had to put the work in. You know, otherwise, you know, that'll be a reflection, you know, on you know, for the wrong reasons. And so I do believe that has just changed over time. You got some people, man. I saw Georgia's Mass Band. They do a summer band thing every year, and it's a combination of high school students, college students, and former band students. We got a friend that went to PV, Maurice Mosley. Shout out Maurice, great drummer from Houston, lives in the Atlanta area. And man, they you know, 200 and 300 people for a summer band program. I'm just like, man, band is alive and well, you know, in Georgia. But on the other hand of it, man, I look at a program like Clark Atlanta's band, who's been struggling like for years. You know, unfortunately, Morris Brown closed down for a few years. That was the other band in Drumline that they always talked about. And it's just like, man, I just wonder if those schools were still relevant and thriving, you know, what the culture would be like for the HBCUs in that area as well. Because most of the people that come from that area, they go to Florida or they'll go to other places. Florida pulls a lot on them for sure, though.
Really?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, band was the culture.
Like,
right. The band was the culture. It's like that. You either coming for the halftime show,
right,
or for fifth quarter,
You
know what I'm saying? Fifth quarter, you know, and fifth. I mean, and the fact that they would, you know, the stadiums or whatever would let us stay. You know what I'm saying? Because the game is over. People going
have to put you out sometimes, depending on how long it go.
But dude, and it can go.
It
can go. You know what I'm saying? But it's like people came for either halftime or fifth quarter, man, and like band was the culture.
Right.
Band, your team could be trash. Make sure we ain't had the best nothing.
Right.
You ain't had the best nothing, but the band. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure.
I don't know why this came to mind, but I know you remember that PV Southern fight. Man. What year was that? That was
1998.
98.
Yeah.
You know about that? Yeah, it was because basically, was it like a Southern bandmate or somebody broke somebody's rank or something like that? Man,
look, so shout out to March and Storm class of 98. They tell the stories backwards and forwards, so I'm not gonna try to mess it up. You know, this game was supposed to be in a neutral location. I think it was in Beaumont, but I might be messing up where it was. But anyway, PV's getting ready to come off the field. PV's getting ready to come on the field. Southern is coming off the field. One of the biggest, I'm not even gonna call it an unwritten rule because it's got to be written down somewhere, but you just don't break the rank of bands. Like, it's just, you respect like whatever formation they're in, like kind of no matter what. And this is just one of those things kind of leading up to it. It's a very long story. I'm gonna make it very short. Even leading up to that game, there was just already a lot of beef between the bands. And then there were some things internally going on with PV with some members of the band. So everybody's just kind of on edge. But you get to the game and it's just like, all right, we got on the same uniform. Let's just do what we need to do. But yeah, man, ranks were broken and just all hell broke loose. You know, after that, just right there on the field. PV never got to perform. You had thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of damages, you know, in horns, people getting hit in the face, you know, with trumpets, you know, people had to go to the hospital. Like it was a very sore spot. And we got down there in 2002 and it was still a sore spot, you know, with the program. We never went to Southern the years we were in the band. You know, these are the early 2000s. For that reason, we would only play them in neutral locations. But yeah, man, it was made world news. You know, it was on CNN, all of that.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, 1998.
Man, yeah, wild time.
Yep.
That's wild. So going back to that, I know you're still a teacher, right?
I am, man. I'm still in education and administration.
Okay, administration. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So and we talked about that a little bit last time you was here, man.
Yep.
Are these teachers lying about they badass kids?
Are the kids bad or they just misled? You know?
Nah, that ain't my baby. Nah, that's your baby, man.
Okay, so I've talked about this. Just finished my 18th year in education.
Good job.
Right. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
You gotta have hella patience,
Man, you gotta be great. You gotta be graced to do this work that long.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. So this was actually my first year doing high school administration. So been doing middle school administration since 2018. That was when I came out of the classroom. But first year doing high school and middle school administration. Long story short, we got an administration team that manages middle school and high school.
Okay.
So anyway, I started thinking about the kids, man. Like my oldest son is getting ready to be a junior in high school. And so as much as we'll talk about some of these troubled kids who make some decisions that really make you scratch your head, like we are the generation that's raising them,
Right,
you know?
right.
And so, you know, our parents, like they didn't play, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it really makes me scratch my head, you know, some of these middle school and high school age kids, it's like, man, why are they acting that way? Because I know their parents were taught better based on they're my contemporaries. They're the people that I grew up with around that age.
No, Thelma came and sat in the classroom.
Man, look.
Thelma Ellis came and sat in the
And
classroom.
you have a few
what I'm
that
saying?
will come up. You have a few that request to do that. And you know, it's so many rules around that now, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, obviously you got
More-
FERPA rights,
more
you're protecting the
paddles.
privacy of the kids.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make sure you know who's coming in the building, that sort of thing. Like there's a bunch of red tape with that. So you really got to be careful with
So
that.
it's not as lenient as it used to be.
No,
as
not at
far
all.
as- yeah,
Not at all, man. And it unfortunately, man, you just got too many. You got people coming on campus. You don't know what their intentions are.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know,
yeah. Time changed.
Yeah, times have
changed.
definitely
Absolutely,
changed.
Yeah, I get that.
So you got to be mindful of that. But yeah, man. I mean, there's still a lot of good kids out there. You know, don't get me wrong. But you got. I think there's a bit of entitlement that comes along with some of these kids. You got some parents who are just not holding their kids accountable. I know parents that don't play and they raise their kids like they raise us. And I got some that's like, man, if they didn't kill anybody, like, why are y'all calling me?
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, it's like, that's real. That's not an exaggeration.
Oh, wow.
You know? And so, and then you got some that's like, look, they with y'all during this time, I'm working or I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Like, if they not a danger to anybody, I need y'all to figure that out, you know? And so the accountability factor can be lacking depending on the school, depending on the situation. But you're gonna have that everywhere.
My teachers was allowed to whoop me when I was you know what I'm saying. Coaches had the paddles. Principal had the paddles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your mom said, if he act up, yeah, you can whoop him.
Oh, dude.
You
know what I'm
you can sign a form.
but that kind of went back to the concept of a village raising a child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't all the way understand that till I got a little bit older.
Yeah.
But it's like it really does take a village. It's like for me, you know what I'm saying, I had my principal had eyes on me. Teachers had eyes on me. next door neighbor had eyes on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I got from school and it wasn't nobody at the crib, I had to go to Miss Shirley's house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wait on either mom or dad to get to the crib and come get me from Miss Shirley's house.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people I had to answer to, you know what I'm saying, as far as holding me accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now is more so, which I get it. It's like it's a real tough gray area. I get it because people are weird.
Yeah.
People are weird.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You know, who's to say it? Because now you finding out that Miss Shirley be touching on the kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like Miss Shirley didn't touch me. Shout out to Miss Shirley.
Right.
But still, it's like
It's
like now you finding out that all this stuff coming to light, and about people and how weird they can be is like, okay, well, we just gonna keep it in our circle.
Right.
It's not gonna be a village. It's gonna be us. So I understand to a certain extent how, but it also goes back to the parents actually getting to know, you know what I'm saying, the teachers and the people around, the people like actually get to know the people teaching your kid, watching your kid, stuff like that. Like I said, my mom, she came up to the school and got to know everybody had her number.
That makes a
difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like she talked to them. She wanted to, so what do you do? Like she's actually getting to know who's teaching my son.
Makes a huge difference.
You feel what I'm saying? And then, okay, bet I can trust you to discipline him because I know if you discipline him, it's coming out of a good, it's coming out of a good place. So I get that part.
Do they?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have parent-teacher conferences?
Oh yeah.
Do people actually show up these days?
So so I work grades 6 through 12. I'm going to see a lot of 6th grade parents for parent conferences. I'm going to see a lot of 9th grade parents at parent conferences. Why? They're new to middle school or new to high school. It seems like kind of the longer they're in, whatever level of the school that they're in, you'll start seeing it dwindle off. I don't ever see senior parents. Like it's like I can count them on one hand. And you would think that that you would, because they're getting ready to transition into like real life. They're getting ready to go to college, like all of that. Like you would think that, you would see those parents a little bit more, but you don't see them as much. Yeah.
Tragic.
Yeah. So we'll schedule, we have 2 that we'll calendar, like on the actual school calendar, specifically with where I work, it's a half day. So the kids come to school for a half day. Second half of the day is parent conferences. So you literally got the whole second half of the day to come up, meet with your kids' teachers. So, if you're flexible, you can come during the day, cool. If you can't come to afterward, we'll usually extend it till 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening so you can still come. So there's no excuse for you not to be able to go speak to those teachers at least twice a year. But you can schedule a parent conference like as time permits. If you want to meet with a teacher specifically, you can do that too. So that's still the thing.
Do you ever, with you having kids of your own, and you know that you want to see them go in a certain direction or whatever, how do you handle a situation where you see kids going down a path that they shouldn't, and then you meet the parent and you like, oh, that's why? Like, how do you
like the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, how do you step in and be like, yo, I'm gonna be this person in your life that's,
Man, you try to be proactive as possible, guys. I mean, sometimes you see these red flags with kids, and it can be very much because they're a product of the environment. And it could very well be where you have been placed in this person's life so that you can at least give them another view of how things could go, because you can't always change, what's going on at home, especially if, Jay, you talked about, your parents came up and like they partnered, with the school. They meet it like the parents know your mom, they know how your mom get down, like that kind of thing. Like, man, that makes such a huge difference when when you had those lines of communication, when you had that partnership, but you always don't have that. Man, I got a situation, I got kids in mind. The most active parents are some of the ones who don't live, in the state. It's a custody issue, or I got to go work in another state because that's what's paying me. But the best place for you, is to be at home because it's a better living environment. Like it's so many factors that contribute to it. So you just try to be as proactive as possible. I try to be very candid with the parents. like, hey, this is what we're dealing with. I'm seeing a pattern of behavior that's going to put this kid, where we're going to have to talk about expulsion. Is that something that you want? That's something that's going to follow them, whether they stay with us or not. And sometimes that gets the attention of them. Not too often, will that not, kind of turn the light bulb on from them and kind of change the trajectory. But it's definitely been some complicated, situations out there.
One more question, sorry. So by you being a musician,
yeah,
and you being a teacher,
right?
Was there ever, or has there ever been a time in your 18 years of teaching that you have had to grab a kid's attention or try to keep them from doing bad or whatever? Have you ever used music as a way to, give them something to do, or even try to steer them in a direction away from where they were going?
Yeah, many times. Many times. Kids walk around with so much talent. It could be with music. It could be things connected to it. Maybe they're a great writer and don't realize they're a great writer. Maybe they have the potential to be a great musician, but they don't have an instrument, or you recognize that they hear things a little bit different from other people, especially when I was in the classroom. And so, you kind of give them that avenue, like, look, maybe school doesn't come natural to you, you don't like doing the studying, all of that. You got to do some of it to be able to get this credit for this class so you can go to the next grade. So you always want to stress the importance of the academics, but you can talk to them about how their talent can be the vehicle to get them wherever that they're trying to go.
Yeah, so some teachers, they're incorporating learning with like some type of cadence
for sure,
or something like that.
For sure.
Does that come easily for you to incorporate it in your teaching?
Yeah, like, when I was in the classroom, I would do that stuff all the time. The kids, I would get kids in class who get in trouble in every other class. They don't get in trouble in mine. And part of that is just like, man, being consistent with like what the expectations, are. If you waver in your expectations, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, you get these kids an inch, they gonna take a mile every time. They're gonna take a mile every time.
Give a nigga a rope, they want to be a cowboy.
Yeah, and the accountability is key. Accountability is key with that. And so when you're consistent with them, like, yeah, it might be touch and go at the beginning, it might be kind of rough, but like once they figure out like you are not wavering on what your expectations are, you're usually going to have a better chance at like managing that class, them learning whatever it is that you teaching from them, no matter the subject. And a lot of them are thankful for it because they know what the expectations are. It's fair. They're not saying you treat one kid one way and you treating them a different way. So it's really establishing that foundation and being consistent.
So I'm gonna ask you this. And it's a twofold question.
Okay.
So the common denominator is a troubled kid.
Okay.
Troubled kid.
Okay.
What advice? And you kind of gave a couple gems, but just the answer, just flat out.
Right.
What advice to you, with the common denominator being a troubled kid? What advice do you give to the parent, and what advice do you give to the teacher?
To the teacher, I'm going to preach relationship. Like, if you do not have a relationship with that kid, they're not going to learn anything from you. And so, I get the pushback. Well, I got 450 kids. How am I going to establish a relationship? And it's like, well, this is the one that's giving you a problem. So if you expecting to do the same thing, with everybody, and you expecting a better outcome, that's called insanity.
Right.
So you got to be able to establish that relationship with that kid. And it's going to look like there isn't a playbook on what the relationship should look like beyond it being healthy, a healthy interaction between the teacher and the student. And so I'm going to preach that, and I'm going to start with that. As far as with the parent, again, the partnership is key. If the teacher is doing everything that they're supposed to do, and being forthright, being proactive, like, hey, here are the challenges I'm experiencing in class, how can I partner with you, so that we can put Tom, Johnny, Sarah, whoever, on the best path to be successful
Melody.
In class. Yeah, Melody.
Don't, hold up. Don't. I was not a trouble. Don't
You wasn't the trouble youth?
No. I wasn't. Lou, don't. Whoa.
But when you're trying to improve, the trajectory of that student's, academic outcome, and like just again, how they're going to function in the class, like all of those things have got to be there, and if they can get that consistently, then maybe you don't have to go, the extra mile, maybe the next school year, because now the teacher now the student has the trust that's been, that's been built with that teacher and the administration, and the parent trusts the teachers and the administration. And so it works all around.
How important is it to put trades back in schools, man?
To put trades back in schools, man, I feel like they're doing it.
Are they really?
Yeah, I feel like they're doing it depending on where you are, man. You'll find cosmetology programs at many schools.
Really?
Absolutely. You find culinary arts in many schools. They even bringing back
wood shops and
they're
stuff
doing
like
welding.
that.
They do welding in schools. Now, it's not everywhere, but it is available.
Yeah.
It is available. Yeah.
What I would really love to see is more of a curriculum centered on actual adult life, building credit.
Yes.
Credit.
Money management.
Yeah. Like financial literacy. Period.
Yes.
Financial literacy, how to buy a house, how to, property taxes, like all of that stuff, like
they
pertaining to adult life, actual adult life.
What you gonna actually use?
Yeah. They have schools that will offer money management. My son, his freshman year, I made sure he took that class. That's just one of those resources. Again, you don't talk about it enough, as you're entering your adulthood. You kind of learn it on the fly far too often. Once you become an adult and you're trying to figure out how to manage your money, how to make it work for you, how to pay your bills, how to invest, how to save, like all of that. Man, I didn't talk about all that stuff until I was out of the house, trying to figure it out. Yeah. So the fact that they have some avenues where you can get that, prior to you turning 18, man, that's huge resource.
And that's why in most situations I do, even with my parents, me getting older, when I got older, I had to step back and give my parents grace. Yeah. Because it's not till it's not till you get older.
Right.
When you figure out, well, shit, they was just trying to figure it out too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They was just trying to, it's a lot that they didn't know. It's a lot that they wasn't taught. It's generational decisions.
It's a lot that they didn't have either.
Yeah. It's generational, because I don't call it generational curses anymore. I call it generational decisions. But it's generational decisions that was passed on to them. You know what I'm saying? I saw my mom. My mom, she put her kids' name on the bill, so I'm gonna put my, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So you get older and it's like you get more information, you know better, you do better. You get more information and it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, so I can give them grace in this particular area, you know, stuff like that. So sometimes parents ain't bad, they just don't know.
Yeah, and you don't know what you don't know.
True. Yeah, and you don't. Sometimes parents just are just as ignorant as. And I'm talking about the actual definition,
lack of knowledge. Yeah,
it's just they just don't know. Yeah, and they're just trying to figure it out. And then you get in your 30s, 40s. It's like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, that's one thing I can say I do, like, as far as the way today is with technology and internet, is that now we have so much information we can get and learn.
Right.
So.
Yeah. But it's like shit. Back then, our parents barely knew how to operate a VCR, and now you got 2-year-olds that know how to get on Facebook.
Tyler said he could have started a traveling class as often as he was up at Townview.
Yeah, Tyler went to Kimball, and he was definitely at Townview and Arts all the time, the time.
He went to Kimball. Kimball was one of our, between Kimball and Sock. That was one of our arch rivals.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Well, Lincoln for a while, but that kind of died away. But Lincoln threw a brick through our band window. So
really,
that happened. They threw a purple. It was painted in purple and it had tigers on it.
Oh wow!
It had a tiger on it.
Make sure y'all knew.
They didn't want them to mistake.
Mr. Hendricks, he kept that brick. He kept that brick in his office.
Motivation.
He's like, oh dude. But yeah, so that was funny.
Do you keep up with Townview and like their music program? And
I do. So, man, that's a great question. So 2 Saturdays ago, you guys know the late great Roy Hargrove, amazing trumpet player. His younger brother Brian Hargrove was a classmate of mine.
Did not know he had a brother.
Yeah, man.
I did not know he had siblings.
Man, he got a younger brother that is a monster on keys. Like great writer, percussionist, play drums. Like Brian, we met each other in 8th grade at OW Holmes. Shout out to OW Holmes.
Shout out to Holmes.
It's another school that done rebranded. Yeah, man. But we met there. But anyway, they
Never
had
take our soul.
yeah. They had a jazz camp at Townview. So Roy Hargrove was a student of Dean Hill, the former Townview band director.
Shout out to Dean Hill,
man,
legend.
OG, legend, GOAT.
Yes,
GOAT, let it be known.
I don't disagree. I won't disagree with that.
Man. Yeah. So they had a jazz camp that was named in Roy's honor at Townview, and so I went, stopped by because I knew Brian was in town. Don't get to see him as much now. He's based in L.A., but he's doing a tour right now with one of his bands. But I went to go see him, man, and yeah, man, I'm still very much connected to Townview. So Townview didn't have a football team. It is an academic school, but their homecoming has kind of naturally turned in to the Gremlin and Prairie View weekend. So Townview throws this fall fling every year that Friday. And PV has been performing at that fall fling since the fall of 2001. So that was my senior year, the 01-02 school year. And they just came on a whim, that night, like Mr. Hill and the late George Edwards. They were really good friends. Townview was kind of a pipeline to PV for that reason. You had a lot of Townview grads that went to PV.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, but ever since then, man, PV has been performing that night. They tour several schools that weekend, and Townview is one of the schools, long-standing schools they've been doing the better part of the last 25 years. And that's Townview's. That's officially their homecoming weekend night. It's a whole event, food trucks. People come out there, alumni, PV alumni, Townview alumni. We get together, and it's a really good time. But yeah, still an active member of the Alumni Association.
Oh
man,
Tyler said he went on.
Yeah, it used to be. Ain't box
used to
be.
be.
Tyler said, "Do you remember when he went on one of y'all field trips?" He went on one of y'all.
Man, he
field
probably
trips?
did. He probably did. What field trip, Tyler? What field trip were you talking
Tyler,
about?
how you go to Kimball and you went on a Townview?
So Tyler's great friends with Demetri Henderson, both a brother and friend of ours, and so that's how I met Tyler. I met Tyler through D. Y'all know D's a great drummer here in Dallas.
Yes, sir. Shout out to
that's how I was playing. He was playing drums with me last night. But yeah, that's how I met Tyler. And Tyler's always around, so I wouldn't put it past. He knew Mr. Hill too, so Mr. Hill was just too cool. So he probably let him go, breaking all kind of rules.
Speaking of Roy Hargrove, I'm gonna tell you how I got introduced to Roy Hargrove.
Okay.
And if Dre is still on the live, he can vouch for me.
To the mall. Okay.
If Dre is still online, he can vouch for me. So I found out who Roy Hargrove was through Mr. Hendrix. Going back to Taking the Village. Okay. So Mr. Hendrix, he had that good old paddle too.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? He had that good old paddle too.
Yeah.
And so we F up whatever. We go in Mr. Hendrix's office.
One time.
We go in Mr. Hendrix's office, and he had an article. He had a Roy Hargrove article on the wall, and he said, but he, it's like it was. He was like, he'll be like, read Roy Hargrove. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you had to read it. You had to
lean in.
You had to lean in. You'll be like, read Roy Hargrove.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Chris Taylor.
See Taylor, my boy.
What up?
See Uzi. I ain't gonna tell y'all what the Uzi for. He'll be mad.
But yeah, man. That's how I got introduced. That's how I found out who Roy Hargrove was, and I was like, okay, F this guy, but he's actually an amazing musician.
Man, Mr. Hill, let me hear some vinyl records of Roy playing when he was in middle school.
Oh wow,
man, it is incredible. It's incredible that this dude has been as talented as long as he's been. Like, obviously was always destined for greatness. But man, he just a great legacy. And again, his brother came in town, to help honor that legacy. Man, you had a bunch of high school students, a couple of middle school students that were part of that camp as well. And just to hear kids still playing jazz, like real jazz, as teenagers, man, that's, it's really rewarding. Yeah, so I was glad they did that.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Well, listen, man, DFW Shed Sessions in the building, man.
Yes,
we are
sir.
sitting here having a super dope conversation with the homie. Y'all don't go anywhere. We're going to take a real short break. We got Professor Mel Will. We got myself. We got Lou Paul Beats. And we got Mr. David Harris in the building, man. We not done. We just going to take a real short break. So don't bust that nut just yet.
Oh, my God.
We'll be right back.
so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful audience. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely.
Just so lovely,
Yes,
man. We have some good convo tonight, y'all.
Yes.
DFW Shed Sessions Podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. Also follow us on TikTok and IG at DFW Shed Sessions Podcast. And also, we do have episodes available on Spotify audio.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all guys
level
look
up.
us up.
Let's go.
Spotify audio.
Spotify audio. KHVA.
Forward Dallas.
We also we got some ad space for our business people. If you guys have any ads, what we got, Jay?
We sure does. Hey man, listen, a lot of y'all been asking. We sure does. A lot of y'all been asking, so we deliver, man. If y'all want to promote your business, promote your event, promote anything that you got going on, and you want us to help, and you want to help us help you, go ahead, look at the screen. We got ad spaces available. Turn to your neighbor and say that ain't much.
That ain't much.
You know what I'm saying? We can do it for you for a couple more dollars. You can do it yourself, and we can get you on here, and we can just help you out with that.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
man. We trying to level up.
Yeah, man. Y'all are.
Y'all trying to level. I
For
appreciate
real.
that.
For real.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
man.
so let's get to these social media plugs. The Beautimous, Professor Mel Will. Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on all social media platforms under Professor Mel Will. That is Professor Mel Will. Davey, you just started following me, right?
I did.
Yeah.
On one of them.
One of them.
I feel like I was following you somewhere already. But
Yeah.
This should be your notification when you get.
If I could.
right.
Brother Jay, where can we
Yes,
find
sir.
you on social media?
Man, real simple, man. Facebook, J Ell Groove. Instagram, who is J Ell Groove? I'm on TokTik as well. If you wanna dabble in one of my mini conglomerates, you can get at me on another Groove project. Facebook, Instagram. We do marketing, photography, videography, all that good stuff. If you want to copy some of that good old funk you couture, we can get you right as well. So yeah, I'm not hard to find.
Not at all.
That's all right.
Jay?
Yeah. Also, real quick, I want to announce. We just gonna call this the announcement. So I want to announce, man. DFW Shed Sessions. We are partnering with Uncle Jeff. We got a super dope event on June 20th. June 20th at Cheap Steaks. All right, Uncle Jeff is doing his album release, and DFW Shed Sessions will be hosting said event. It is a
dope.
free event, people.
And we hosting it too.
That's dope.
It is a free event. Yeah, I'll make sure y'all come out, man. We got it's his album release called Self Validated. We got some super dope talent in the building. We got Bo Dub, we got Trey Williams, we got Kayla E, and it's going to be hosted by myself, J Ell, on behalf of DFW Shed Sessions. It is a free event for the free.
Congrats, brother.
I appreciate that.
Yes, man.
It's a free event, man. Y'all come out and support Uncle Jeff. He is a friend to the room. We support him to the fullest, and he just wanted to turn around and support us. He said he wanted us to be involved. So yeah, we partnering with Uncle Jeff, man. That's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, most definitely gonna be a good time.
Yeah, man.
Gonna have a funky good time.
Yeah.
They done messed around and gave me a microphone. Y'all know I ain't hosting nothing in a minute. And if anybody who know
You
me,
finna act up.
ain't nobody say, oh, nobody
I mean,
safe.
but be classy
Nobody.
with your acting up.
Nobody is safe.
He just letting it be known now.
Nobody safe. Tyler Lott, appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
And Lou, what about you? Sorry.
Y'all guys can find
Lou was like, oh, well, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
whenever y'all get to me, it's
Put here. Yeah, right. So y'all guys can find me on TikTok and IG Lou Paul Beats, and also you guys can find I have music out and available.
Come on.
On all music streaming platforms. Some chill music, hip hop instrumental, man. Just add to your playlist, and that's how we roll it.
yes, sir.
So my good brother David, where
Yes,
can
sir.
we find you on social media?
Man, all the socials. I am David Harris. Luckily, it's been available everywhere, so I just use that. On Facebook specifically, let me say this. David J. Harris, not David J. Harris Jr. David J. Harris Jr. is, I'm going to just say he's a Republican, and man, folk been hitting me up like, dude, like, what's going on? Like, that's not me. Like, you can see the picture. It's not me. You know. So I didn't have, David Harris, very common name. So I always would add J, but there's a David J. Harris Jr. now. My boy got some wild takes. So
That's wild.
there is no affiliation, no relationship, nothing. But
what you mean?
Man, I'm definitely catching strays because of him.
That's wild.
I done caught a few strays because of him.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
It's all good, man.
But yeah, that's what's up, man. Also, Mr. Harris, man, you got some dope stuff coming up, man. You got some dope stuff going on.
Yes.
Go ahead and talk about that.
Look, man, I'm always looking out for both my alma maters, PV and Townview. I'm gonna talk about both. Now, you got the PV one up. We good? I'm gonna just talk about it. I know you get to it. So the Prairie View Foundation, there are several things that you can give to on that page. The Marching Storm, that's the name of PV's band. Listen, they are doing great things under the direction of Dr. Timothy Zachary. He is the gentleman that took over after the late great Professor George Edwards
so he got two first names. Timothy Zachary.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
you
said
it. But man, he has done so much with the program, kind of bringing it forward. They performed the Macy's Day Parade, recently performed the Tournament of Roses Parade a couple of times. Just really doing great things down there. PV is currently getting ready to build a brand new facility down on the campus. They're kind of practicing in this bubble right now. It's air conditioned. If you ever seen like these big kind of outdoor football facilities that are in this kind of white bubble-like material, that's kind of what PV is performing in right now. But man, the band has grown so much that they just outgrew all the spaces that were there when we were there, Lou.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So yeah, man, there's just anything that you have to donate towards the cause, I can definitely tell you that it's going into the right place, and there's just a lot of great things going, just kind of furthering not only music education, but just music in HBCUs as a whole. So definitely want to keep that going. And then second, we talked about Townview a little bit earlier. Still a very active member of our alumni association. Dean Hill retired a few years ago. There's a young man named James Gibson who is over the program now, also a PV grad. Mr. Gibson's doing great things with Townview. Just great to kind of see the legacy going forward. Coming in behind Mr. Hill is like that's huge.
Oh, for sure.
It was Carlisa Washington who came behind him. She was one of the assistant band directors when I was there right before I graduated. But she's doing things on a higher level with DISD, and so Mr. Gibson is there now, and definitely want to donate to them as well. They probably need to build them a new space too. They've grown out of their space too. But
Townview band was always big. Jesus Christ, Town band was marching 300 when I was in high school.
It wasn't supposed to be that way. You know, when they envisioned it as like, oh, okay, let's put all the smartest inner city kids in one school, which you think it would be a good idea, but man, we got into a lot of trouble. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
But
marching that deep?
So this year they were around 150, 160 this year. They had they still had a really nice size band. And I think what it is that
you got a big band when you marching 4 quints.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's one of those things.
4 quints, dude. Come on, man.
I think they put a limit on what they thought Mr. Hill was gonna do when they asked him, to be the band director when Townview originally opened. And man, I was there the 4th year that the school was open. So this was the first 4-year class getting ready to graduate. And that was the first year that they had the marching band. So this is the 98-99 school year. And the kids at Townview would march just at other programs if they wanted to do marching band. Roosevelt had a really big marching band in 97-98 school year, and a lot of them came from Townview.
Yeah.
And so, that following year they decided to have a marching band, and the program just took off, man. Like that just kind of springboarded everything. So it's been really good. But yeah, man, anything y'all want to donate, those who are watching, man, just please support those programs. They're still doing great things for kids who are interested in music. And I can definitely tell you every dollar is being used for them.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
I don't know. We might need to see if DFW Shed Sessions can drop a couple dollars in the bucket.
Man, we greatly appreciate it.
Might need to see if we can do that.
Greatly appreciate it.
Might need to check the bank account.
Check the account.
Yeah, check the account.
Check
That mud is at a negative. No.
Oh man.
No, it's
Not in the red.
Ain't nobody buying no ads, man. I'm joking.
Not in the red.
I'm joking, but nah, man, this equipment costs.
Right.
But nah, man, we'll see if DFW Shed Sessions can our first charitable donation. So
greatly appreciate.
We might need to make that to one of the friends of the room. That's what's up, man. So Mr. Harris, as you know,
yes sir.
As you know, we have some recurring segments that we like to get into.
Yeah.
Like deep dive, get to know, I guess, a little bit. Now, the last time we was on here, I asked you about, your top 5 favorite marching bands, but we're going to do a different top 5.
All right. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bro, that is crazy. Where you find that? Who is that?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about who it is. Just know it's there.
Oh my God.
We call this one top 5.
All right.
We call this one top 5, man. Now I watch you a lot from the shadows, Mr. Harris, man, and this is gonna be a random top 5. But you take me as a very solid sneakerhead.
Okay, I dibble.
I feel like your shoe game is proper.
I appreciate it.
I feel like it's proper. So I'm just.
You remember how he dressed last time?
I did. You know what I'm saying? So just real quick, man. What's your top 5 shoes?
All right.
Top 5 tennis shoes.
Keep it simple. So the Jordan 5 is my favorite Jordan. Mm-hmm. That's the one. I saw the Fresh Prince wearing it. If you ever hear them saying the Bel Air 5s, that's from the Jordan 5. So that's number 1 for me. The 11s, that's a popular one. The Jordan 11, that's a popular one too. I like the high top dunks. A lot of people don't like the dunks. Last time I was on the show, I was wearing the Laker dunks. It's an iconic shoe for me as well.
I like the dunks.
Yeah.
I don't even have your shoes in the shot. Sorry. Can you put your foot up? Yeah.
These are Jordan 1 lows, and so these have grown on me. I had to buy a pair for a wedding for Brent that I did back in December, and man, I was just looking at them, and man, it's a really classic take on the shoe.
You gotta get that Wendy Williams camera.
That shoe cam.
It's a classic take on the shoe, and it's really versatile. People wear them. They're starting to wear them with suits a lot. So the Jordan 1 low, that's number 4, and then number 5, man, just the Air Max 95, the original Air Max, man. Like I'm a big fan of those too.
I got you.
Because I just purchased these.
Okay.
For your sneakers.
Yeah.
Do you, to keep them from creasing? Do you wear the inserts that's at the toe?
I don't wear them, but I have some in there when I'm not wearing them in the shoe box to keep them in there. Mm-hmm. I don't want too much in my shoe, when I'm moving around, and I'm not having to move around where I think I'm a crease them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Some of it could be like if your foot's too wide or too narrow, depending on the shoe. That can kind of contribute to the creasing. But man, if you just buy the right size shoe, if you buy the right size shoe, you can preserve the shoe. Yeah. The paper that they give you, keep those in there when it's in the box, man. You can keep shoes for a little while if you ain't going crazy.
When you was younger and you didn't have no ankle socks. You just took your tools out, just fold them on down. Fold it on. Yep.
Just roll them on down.
Yes,
I think that's part of just even like, and there are plenty more shoe heads that are way into it, a lot deeper than me. Man, hard as my parents worked, man, I just couldn't get the shoes that I always wanted, Yeah. So when I became an adult, like I just, not get what I wanted.
I was never really a big shoe head.
Yeah.
Like I like what I like or whatever. My dad traumatized me when I was. I'm gonna tell this story, man.
Okay.
Rest in peace to my dad, man. But he was a dick sometimes. We in Just for Feet.
Okay. Man, with the court.
Yeah.
Boys in there going hard playing 25, not 21, 25.
We in Just for Feet, and he bought me some shoes, and he was like, what? He picked some. He's like, what about these? He said, what about these? I said, Daddy, those two plain. He said, nigga, you plain.
Oh, wow.
He really wanted me to have those shoes.
Man.
He said, nigga, you plain.
Man.
Needless to say, I wound up getting those shoes, but no, I forgot what those were. You know what? I think those was those all white K Swiss, those icy white K Swiss. Which now I'm like, man, those shoes was golded. Actually,
don't nobody wear those no more.
They went through a phase where they was pretty popular.
Yeah, they was
mid '90s. We was wearing them at home.
Oh, for sure.
We was wearing them at home.
Them icy white K Swiss and them the icy white Reeboks.
But what's popular now with the kids is the New Balance.
We used
to talk about kids that wore New Balance back in the day.
Payless shoes ain't got no grip.
Man.
You might fall and bust your lip. Like, dude, New Balance.
But they've come up a lot though.
New Balance, Asics is starting to make a wave.
Same.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just like the whole dad shoe phase. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely starting to make a wave.
The kids into it, man. They into
Champs, all that.
Y'all remember Dada's?
Oh my God!
Why you playing? Why
Skechers?
you playing? Skechers is calling themselves trying to get snazzy too. They trying to get snazzy.
They getting proud,
dude.
Acting different.
Dude, Skechers. Who you think you is?
Acting different.
And Converses back then was like the thing to have on too.
Yeah. The big bubble jackets. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
Marshmallow jacket.
All of them. But now, okay, bet. So we gonna keep it pushing, man.
Says Skechers.
Skechers. But now we gonna keep pushing, man. We call this one playing in the wrong key. You're a friend to the room, so you already know.
Before we go to the wrong key,
what you got?
There's a wrong key video. I think we should play.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay. You got a wrong key video.
It's wrong what you got? Key video. And it's definitely gonna be a wrong key for you.
Okay.
It's gonna be scary.
All right. Let's see what we got.
This is the plane video.
Oh, okay. Give me a second.
I saw this yesterday. I said, "Oh yeah, we gotta bring this to the spotlight."
Okay. Lou, what you got up your sleeve?
No telling.
There ain't no telling. I don't even think I approve of this.
Yeah, Lord.
Praise on the plane.
Look at Martha. Martha just don't know what to do.
Not at all.
She figured it out. Whose choir is this on the plane?
There it is.
This is my choir.
She on the wall. Oh shit. Martha is on 1 and 3.
Oh man. Oh man.
Who in TSA?
Oh man.
And she on beat.
That's the lady that lied on Emmett Till.
The tambourine just came out of nowhere.
I'm like,
whose choir is on the plane?
Dude, all in my room. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
I love
this is the PVU BDSM gospel choir.
Oh yeah.
BSM?
Oh yeah, that's what that ain't what I said.
No. I think you put a D in.
He did. He said BDSM.
You gotta be careful. BDSM is crazy.
Oh man.
It's crazy.
Okay. First of all, Lucius. Who in TSA let this lady on with the tambourine? That's one. They need to be fired. if it's up to you, I know. You could have used the note. This a weapon. We got to throw this away.
Yeah.
But I will say, at least you was on beat.
She was.
You was on beat. So I'll give you that. Outside of that,
she don't go nowhere without her tambourine.
Ma'am, please keep your tambourine at the crib. We don't.
It should never leave the house.
It should not leave the house. It should not leave the house.
No, I'm not proud of her.
You not proud of her?
No, I'm an advocate for tambourine players, but I'm ashamed of that. I'm not gonna lie.
That is wild work. So yeah, that's playing in.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Why is the tambourine accessible?
Right.
Like even if you brought it with you on the trip, why is it in your carry-on?
You put that in your carry-on.
Yeah.
You was like, I'm gonna need this in some way, shape, or form.
That's
like,
why I thought.
Like you say, how did it make it through TSA? I just ain't never seen that. I'm not gonna check this. This has to be in my carry-on.
Yeah.
I need this with me. That's why
Tyler
I
said
work.
diabolical. I know. I don't know how that got looked.
That's why I work. But anyway, so you know what playing in the wrong key is.
Yeah.
What's playing in the wrong key for Mr. David Harris?
Let's take it here today. So Jay, you a drummer, man. You a drummer.
That's what they told me.
You a drummer, and I'm thinking about drummers and guitar players. I ain't just gonna put it on. I think these are two instruments that can very easily get lost in the sauce when they don't know the music. When they don't know the music.
That damn vibing.
Man, look. So fortunately, people I normally play with, like the church man, Potter's House Fort Worth, I don't have this problem. But man, I've been in some situations where, man, if the drummer doesn't know the groove, especially if the bass player is laying it down and that drummer just playing all over, like that is going to annoy me. I'll be ready to just leave the gig. Like whatever money you're gonna give me, just
you know what you
got it. But man, with guitar players, like learn the parts.
Yeah,
it's parts in these songs, like especially we can talk about church, but like I'm talking about like. Just the secular, the top 40 stuff too. Like, man, it's parts in these songs. Like, learn the parts. Like, I don't need you soloing over the song.
Absolutely.
I don't need you just playing whatever chords. Like, it's parts in the song. And sometimes, you got 2 and 3 guitar parts.
Right.
Pick one of them.
Yeah.
Pick one of them. Like, make it fit. If I throw it to you for a solo, take it. But learn those parts, man. Yeah. Like, and it's I get real aggravated with drummers and guitar players very easily when they just learn the groove. Learn the guitar parts, make it fit in the song.
A groove that's played wrong could be
it'll kill the song.
Oh man,
listen to the drummers out there, and I'll agree with you because I've heard it, and it's like, bro, feel is everything.
It is
not your feels. Yeah, feel. Feel is everything when you are playing a song. The song is supposed to feel a certain way. Yeah, yes, you can be playing in 4/4. Yeah, but just because you're playing in 4/4, that does I play country music. I play a lot of. There are like 5 different train beats. Yeah, there are like 5 different train beats, and they all need to feel a certain way. Yeah, whatever. If you're playing a pop song, playing a funk song, right. R&B, whatever the case may be, it needs to feel the same. Sometimes you need to play a straight 4/4 beat. Sometimes it needs to have a bounce to it. Right. Sometimes it needs to have, whatever, maybe you need to
a shuffle.
Maybe it needs to be a shuffle. Maybe it needs to be 4 to the floor. To push it. Maybe you need to play a little bit behind the beat. But whatever the case may be, the song has to feel how it's supposed to feel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree. That's a pet peeve of mine, man. Feel is definitely everything. For sure.
And these drummers they'll spoil you. You know what I'm saying? So when you get with one that's, I ain't even talking about just the greatest of the great. We just get one that just don't understand the feel and what's supposed to be played. Like, man, I'll just be annoyed the whole time.
Yeah, man. No, and truth be told, I'm not saying this out of cockiness, but that's why I get hired a lot.
There you go. That makes a difference.
I say this all the time, and I say it with my chest. There's a lot of people that can outplay me. Yeah. There's not a lot of people that can outperform me.
Same.
You feel what I'm saying?
I'm right there with you.
There's not a lot of people that can outperform me. I know how to perform.
I'm right there with you.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, can I chop? Sure. Do I got all the chops? Nah. But at the end of the day, I'm solid as fuck.
Stay hired.
You feel what I'm saying? I stay hired. I stay working. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Speaking of which, shout out to E Melody. We kicking it with her at Twisted Bar and Grill this Saturday. Oh. This upcoming Saturday. So shout out to her. But yeah, so also a friend to the room. But yeah, so yeah, feel is everything, man. It annoys me. Yeah. And truth be told, I know it's gonna sound like I'm being funny, but I'm not being funny. Yeah. That goes along with one of my issues with tambourine players. You know what I'm saying? Because
play whatever.
Because they just play whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They just play whatever. It's like, bro, the thing that you playing does not go with what we set up here and rehearse for 5 hours. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then there's dynamics to it,
Sure.
and there's all this stuff, and you just feel like you just want to come up here and just beat on some stuff.
Chris, you laughing too hard, bro. You laughing too hard, bro.
He said, "Don't be that way, David." No, be that way.
Hey,
Be that way.
again. Me and Chris been knowing each other too long.
But nah,
Too
man.
long.
As a drummer, percussionist myself, yeah, man. Some of y'all need to chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a percussionist myself,
I really wish you would stop.
Some of
I
y'all,
really wish you would stop. I really wish you would stop. All right, man. So this we gonna. So this next one we call this one gig tales.
Yeah.
So good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. What's that one gig experience that you had that you could talk about?
Okay, I got one that's kind of funny.
Okay.
I got one that's kind of funny. All right, so this is late 2000s. I'm still living in the H. I'm still living in Houston. Playing with this artist, Punkin from Pluto. Shout out to Punkin from Pluto. I don't know where she is now. She was great to me when we were playing for her. But
She
anyway,
probably went back to Pluto.
we got called by a former Houston Rockets player named Mike James. Wasn't a big player, but a very solid contributor. I want to say he was in the running for 6th Man of the Year one year.
Okay.
Anyway, so we get called. Lou, we going to River Oaks. River Oaks, one of the richest neighborhoods in Houston. So I was like, man, and this is before. I don't know who we're playing for on our way. I see the address and I'm like, man, like we gonna have to like check in with security, like all of that, So we get to his house, real nice setup. This thing is in the backyard, cool. So we there, we set up, and Mike is just back there, like he working on this game. Like this is his 10-year wedding anniversary that he's about to celebrate. So it's gonna be like a wedding ceremony, somewhat like, but a little bit lower key. Yeah. So we get there, Mike he's back there working on this game, and I'm like, bro, it's starting like, could we get there late? It's starting like an hour. Like, you gonna take a shower, like get your clothes on, whatever. Yeah. He doing his thing. So we set up, we get to playing on time, whatever. All right, so you got your videographers there, you got your caterers there, like everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. Y'all, I'm playing, I hear splash. And I hear people like, oh my, like this kind of thing. Y'all turn around, the videographer crew, they've been walking around like filming, just looking through the lens, not checking their surroundings. This dude is in the deep end of the pool. He cannot swim.
Oh, no.
They got to get the little pool net, for him to hang on to. They pull him out. His camera at the bottom of the pool.
God.
So everything up until that point, that was at least, he was the main videographer. Everything up until that point, just completely lost. But Mike James, he was completely cool about it, man. He obviously wanted to make sure that he was okay. This dude struggling to get out the pool. But yeah, man, just wasn't expecting that. That was kind of funny, and it ended up being a good night. The rest of the night, he had some secondary camera folks that was doing the rest of it, but. He was the main guy, but yeah, man, dude at the bottom of the pool, almost lost his life.
As a photographer,
yeah, you do that too. Yeah,
I know your heart just.
I mean, because first of all, yeah, we glad you alive and all that good stuff, but
footage,
even if the footage,
the camera,
thousands of dollars,
yeah.
Because the way he talking, this ain't some rinky dink.
Nah, this is legit.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody know what they doing.
This ain't something you bought at the pawn shop. This some
real deal.
This is some real deal. You're talking about thousands of dollars at bare minimum, because I'm sure you got the dongle, you got the monitor, you got all that. You probably talking about a solid. And I'm gonna be generous and say $3,000 to $4,000 worth of equipment in your hand. And truth be told, the camera itself might be $2,000 that, and that's on the low end. So that's
just walking around with $5,000 minimum.
And that's minimum.
Yeah,
mind you, I'm being generous.
Yeah,
I'm being generous just depending on his setup, but
yeah,
just falling in the pool, that just hurt my heart.
And don't save me, save my camera.
and then don't not have insurance on your stuff.
Man, I hope so.
Ooh, Jesus Christ! But yeah, man. So yeah, I all right.
Yeah,
Mr. Harris, you run into a younger version of yourself, because I don't think I asked you this last time you were here. You run into a younger version of yourself. version of yourself where you know, growing up trying to figure things out, you know, all that stuff. What advice does today David Harris give to a younger version of himself?
You're right. You did not ask me this last time.
Yeah.
And so I did think about this on the way here. Yeah. So young version of myself, I'm going to say like late teens, just to be more assertive about who you were created to be. Mm-hmm. Man, I think that one of the biggest things I struggled with wasn't like acceptance or anything like that, man. I knew that there were a lot of things placed in me, and I was not always comfortable exercising them. Mm. You know, and just kind of watching others either struggle or, you know, kind of letting them be out front, you know, with their approach, knowing like, man, I got something to offer this that could actually improve the situation. And a lot of that's just, man, you know, going through, we've all gone through some version of it, you know, as creatives and as artists. You know, you feel like sometimes you stick out too much. Mm-hmm. And so you want to shrink because you don't want to feel like the spotlight has to be on you. Mm-hmm. But man, it's not really about that, man. It's just that you are gifted. There's a reason why you're gifted. Right. There's a reason why you have what's in you, and you're supposed to use it. It's supposed to benefit others. Mm-hmm. And if you're doing it the right way, you'll get some of the benefits that come along with it. But just really keeping the main thing, like, man, you were created to do something that others just were not. Mm-hmm. And so just kind of walking in that, I would definitely tell my younger self, especially around 18, 19, like, man, you're in these rooms for a reason. You're not in these rooms just to listen. Like, you're in these rooms to impact, you know, the environment around you. You're the thermostat, like, set the temperature, you know, give people, you know, and I didn't, I didn't really walk into that kind of thinking until, man, really late 20s, maybe almost 30, like really just like, man, I'm created to do this. I know what needs to be happening. And it's not being like the know-it-all. It's not being arrogant. It's not being cocky. It's none of that. It's, you were created to do this. You were created to impact the situation. Absolutely. So go do it. Yeah. You know, that's why you're here. Yeah. You know, so just really kind of owning that, walking into that, and being bold, you know, with that.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Knowing who you were back then, what would your response be to yourself?
I needed to hear that. Me being at 18 or 19, that would have ignited something in me for sure. And who knows what course that really would have put me on then. I'm grateful for all the experiences that have gotten me to this day at 41 years old for sure. But hearing somebody articulate it that way to me at 18 or 19, who knows, bro? Yeah. Who knows?
That's what's up, man. You've been here before. Yeah, you've been here before, so you do know that you were not only brought on here just to do an interview, just to chop it up, but we wanted to give you your flowers again. Now, just like last time, we don't have the budget to give you. We don't have the budget to give you real flowers.
A year later.
We went to the ads kick in.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now, man, we still just sitting here talking to you, the wisdom that you dropped, the conversation that you have, it's really refreshing. Yeah. It's really refreshing to see somebody of your stature just be able to come in and drop the dimes and jewels that you drop, man. Like I said, the wisdom, something that I didn't all the way really harp on last time was the care that you have for the youth.
Yeah, man.
You have your level of care and for the youth is just different, and I appreciate that with you having the position that you have in your field. Sure. And I know you see it, you know, with some of the people that you work with. You know, some people are there just for a check. Yep. Some people have, or there are some people that's like, I don't get paid enough to care that much. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And then you just having the heart that you have for youth, you just having the heart that you have for people, period. Yeah. You wanting to go back to your alma maters and give back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You doing all that stuff, man. Family man. Yes. Family man, you know, wife, kids, stuff like that, and still being a man of the house and stuff like that, man. We just overall appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you so much for the support that you've given us, the advice that you've given us, man. Y'all make some noise for Mr. David Harris, man.
Thank y'all, man. Sir. I appreciate it. I think
real talk.
I'm grateful for the space that y'all create, to talk about this. And man, let me give y'all flowers too, man. Like y'all been going at this a while now.
Yeah, man.
Come
up on 3 years.
Hey, I told you the first time I came around, man. I was doing this with a sports show with some guys who are I'm still very close with. And man, this is hard work. When you're independent and you're trying to make this happen, you're trying to be consistent. Like it's difficult. Shout out to my cousin Larry. We call him Tank.
He called you.
That's couldn't with a D.
Could.
Yeah. He say like that on purpose.
That's country.
Hey, y'all look up Larry Tank Harris. Y'all look up he got a pod too, man. He does he's in Parsons, Kansas, man. And he does this thing where he's listening to a bunch of independent artists doing this thing, man. He's an artist in his own right, rapper in his own right. Shout out to you, cuz, just as well. But man, I really appreciate y'all. Number one, for just continuing to do this. Like we need these conversations that happen not only when I'm here, and I told y'all I'm a fan. Like I watch all the time. Yeah. You check my algorithm. Y'all pop up.
Thank you, Larry, for the star.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. He that's my boy, man. That's my cuz. But y'all continue to do it, man. Y'all are going to the next space, and hey, I'm here to cheer y'all on, whether I'm on the couch or not. Whether I'm on the couch or not. So much appreciated. Thank y'all for having me again. It's an honor.
David, also thank you. Your promo for your interview.
Yeah.
Listen, I said, ooh, let me reshare this.
Yeah.
No, thank you. And you're always, no matter who we're interviewing, you're always in the comment section.
For sure.
You're always, just showing up.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Some people, they don't did an interview and we ain't, but you're always showing up and supporting us. We really appreciate
friend to the room for sure, man.
That's easy.
You definitely fam to the room, man.
Sure.
So we appreciate you, man. Real talk.
Appreciate
What you got?
too.
Yeah, so man, let's run this last video. We're just gonna do about a minute. We have to go down memory lane real quick.
I know what this is. I know what this is.
This was good time.
Yes, it was.
Good times for sure, man. Yeah, appreciate everybody. Make sure you guys share video.
Absolutely.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, man, let's run this last video. We're just gonna do about a minute.
There you go.
Yep. Oh man. Right here.
Reese.
That's when Clint was skinny.
Man, skinny Clint. Look, I had hair, y'all. Hanging on to it.
Chris was
Chris had hair. J Money.
That boy had the oversized shirt on.
You know it. You know it. We all trying to be like Ty.
That was the pop collar era.
Dress shirts and jeans.
Yep. Dress shirt, jeans.
We didn't know if it was business casual or what.
This cameraman fired.
Man.
Thanks, gospel chops.
Right.
Oh man. Man, yeah, that's classic.
That's what's up.
That is a classic.
Boy, 90s gospel, man, is just goated.
It was a golden era. This had to be like, that probably was, let's see, I was playing at St. Luke.
That was 04.
It's like 04, yeah.
Larry said, I need advice on the promo cutting.
Oh, I hate your cuz. I'll show you what I know.
Okay, yeah, man. It's all kind of apps and apps and loops and stuff you can do. I know me personally, if you're talking about like making promo videos and stuff like that, my go-tos are InShot, CapCut.
That's good stuff.
InShot, CapCut, and so to refine it, I'll probably use Rush. That's by Photoshop, Lightroom, stuff like that. And yeah, I'll probably use that. As far as pictures and stuff go, I use if I'm doing like pictures and stuff, I'll use like Lenza, Pixelup, PixArt, Canva.
Canva's great.
Canva and stuff like that.
Easy to pick up too.
Canva.
Yeah, and of course, Photoshop and Lightroom.
Yeah.
By Adobe. So those are just a couple of the. A couple of things. That's if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
If that's what you're talking about, those are some of the apps that I use, man. But
even the way some of those platforms interact with, like, even just how you putting them on TikTok or IG, like, there's so many effects that you can add to it. Like, you build something in Canva, bring it over to TikTok, add some effects to it. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh no, I definitely.
Yeah, I know you.
I'll use 3 apps for one thing. You know what I'm saying, and refine it and all that stuff. So yeah. So if
Larry said thanks. He's learning CapCut.
Yeah, man. CapCut is definitely one of the more user friendly.
I just had to do that because I said CapCut it.
And also because we don't mind giving free game. One of the things that we use for the podcast that really helps with making clips and stuff like that is Opus.
Man.
Opus clips. That's one of the things that we use. Because what Opus will do is it'll take, like, especially like long form content like this.
Yeah.
AI will analyze it and take out of that like, take this interview. It'll take what it deems the more
substance.
Yeah, that would more likely get better views.
Yeah,
and it'll make it into real.
Right.
Like the most relevant content from it.
And it'll make the reels.
Okay.
It'll even edit the it'll do its own edit with the camera angles and stuff like that as well.
And subtitles.
You know,
That's dope.
does its own subtitles, stuff
dope.
like that. So Opus Clips is definitely something that that we use, especially, like I said, it's really good for long form content.
I'm gonna give you some more free game, right? Instagram.
Yeah.
So our social media platforms are consistently coming out with, because they're battling these third party apps and companies that we're doing promos through.
Right.
So Instagram has a new app, and I forgot the name of it, but it's an editing app as well.
Okay.
So there's, like, you just have to, Larry, you just have to do your research. I'm actually there with you. I didn't go to school for graphics and designs and things like that. So I'm still learning and things like that. But while I'm learning, I'm always looking to see what's the next best thing. What's a free thing? Because that's important. So,
and to piggyback off what Professor Mel just said, a lot of these social media platforms do have subsidiary apps that will, like, so let's just say one of the apps, let's just say InShot, for example. Well, InShot and Meta, they work together some way.
And CapCut is by TikTok.
Right. Yeah. Okay, let's use that one. So you got CapCut and TikTok, right? So if I use CapCut to edit something and I put it in TikTok, it'll push better on TikTok than it would Facebook or Instagram, because they're in the same. They're in the same village. You get what I'm saying? So that's another thing too. When you're using a lot of these different platforms or a lot of these different apps, sometimes it's good to see, okay, well, you know, Canva is a subsidiary of this. So on this particular platform, it'll push better. Because
the ecosystems work together with each other.
Absolutely.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? And then on the flip side, there are some that'll hold back because you didn't use their editing platform. You know what I'm saying? So you probably wouldn't get that many views. You know, here now if you're using something like you know, Photoshop or Lightroom or something like that, that's pretty much standard for every you know. It's not as user friendly. Like if you're doing it on the laptop or PC, it's not as user friendly. The user friendly versions are more on, like, the apps and stuff like that.
Mobile.
But you don't have access to as many tools.
Okay.
You know, so it's just one of them games you gotta play, man.
Man.
It's
all
a lot.
The ins and outs.
It's a lot to it. It's a lot to it.
For sure.
Yeah, that's why, you know, doing something like a podcast or being a content creator, like, you know, they got, it's a lot of things. There's
a lot of back office work.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's what that is. But yeah, Larry, we get free game on here, man. So
I see you, cuz. I see your comment. Love you, bro.
Already. All right, Lou, what you got?
Hold on, Lou. Before I know you finna sign off. I wore my hat today.
Let me put it on your camera. Go ahead.
We them boys again. Jay
Can you lean?
You need me to lean in?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cause Jay been acting up.
Ain't he?
He been look. The Eagles, they won the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the. I got a good friend, Courtney Brooks, big Eagles fan. Marcus Walker, another big Eagles fan. Congratulations to y'all. But Jay, you been acting up on the pod, bro.
Man.
And I feel like it ain't been the people cause Lou been cool. Lou gonna be cool. Lou always been cool.
But he not a shit talker like
That's
that.
what I'm saying. It ain't been somebody combative enough to get you. You just been going crazy, bro.
Chastise him.
I have
really
not. I've
good.
not been going crazy.
You been going crazy.
I can't wear clothes.
You can wear clothes. You a
I
grown man.
I can't wear clothes.
You a grown man.
I just been chastised.
I'm not being chastised.
You
I'm
been
really
going
not.
crazy about these Eagles, bro.
Yeah.
What? I can't be a fan?
So y'all gonna win again?
Possibly. Okay. Possibly. And see, this is the issue. This is the issue
All right.
with a lot of Cowboys fans.
Come on.
Don't nobody really be saying nothing to y'all. It be y'all.
I took it personal. You
I ain't said
You haven't?
I ain't said Nathaniel.
I just didn't like the jersey, the hat.
It was a bit much.
Don't you had the black Eagles jersey? You went and paid some money for that, bro.
Oh.
I mean, you been acting up.
It was a bit much.
Hey man, I support my team. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm gonna let y'all shine. Y'all the champs. I'm gonna let y'all shine.
For winning their second championship this decade.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So all right. Can you get 3 in 1? 3 in 1 decade?
You probably could. You probably could.
We'll see.
Get some help.
I'm gonna let y'all shine. But I'm letting you know, as you know. I watched the show.
You have no choice but to let
I don't like you acting up with them.
You know what? That sounds like
that.
That sounds like a whole lot of not my problem, David.
All right, man.
You brought it up.
Game one of the season.
You talking about our banner hanging ceremony?
I mean, y'all can hang your banner.
Yeah, our banner hanging ceremony.
I don't know if it's gonna be enjoyable the entire time.
I mean, it's our banner hanging. Y'all got to sit there and watch that.
Motivation.
Y'all got to sit there and watch that.
Motivation.
Yeah.
I'm glad they got to watch it.
It'll be motivation.
Motivation.
It'll be motivation to clean the rust off of y'all.
That's okay. Trophies. We'll clean it off.
And technically, because I'm a real Eagles fan.
Okay, you are.
Technically, that one a couple years ago was not our first one. Technically.
No, I don't want to hear nothing about no NFL championship.
Technically, the Eagles won the very, very first.
Mm-mm. See, now we talking about history. You want to talk about history with the
Cowboys. I mean, we can talk about history because it is his story.
Yeah.
It is history. It's in the past. And it didn't happen this game, but technically we won. Philadelphia Eagles won the very first.
There you go.
Very first.
Yes.
What?
NFL championship.
NFL championship.
It wasn't the Super Bowl. It wasn't the Lombardi back then.
That was a participation trophy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Lou. I needed to say that. I needed that to be recorded.
At least.
I appreciate you, David. Because this is a Cowboys house.
Thank you.
At least we got a chance. At least we got a chance to participate.
Oh man.
That's all right.
We got a chance to participate, but we'll see what happens. And that's what I'm saying. Y'all are the only ones that do that. Are y'all gonna win the Super Bowl this year?
It's our year. Hey, we them boys again.
Okay. There they go.
We them boys again.
Y'all do it to yourselves every year.
It's our year, Mel. It's our year, Mel.
Y'all do it to yourselves.
We them boys again, Jay.
Y'all do it to yourselves.
We them boys again.
Why y'all? So what's different this year?
Everything.
Okay.
Dak not hurt.
Okay.
We them boys again.
What about when he? Well, he wasn't hurt a couple years ago too.
Yeah, number two in MVP voting.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that.
Number 2. Okay.
We'll get back to that.
I don't think you applying yourself.
I'm just saying, man. I Buddy mad at me because I wear clothes.
I wasn't mad. You just acting up.
I'm acting up. I'm not acting
the
up.
bravado was just it was extensive.
It was loud.
I had too much bass in my voice. Is that what
it was? Your chest was all the way up.
Oh man,
it was loud and disrespectful.
Chest was all the way up.
All right, well, I'm so sorry to hear that. We'll see. Come February, we'll see what's up. We'll see what's
Because
up.
we're going where?
To the ship.
To the bow, y'all. To the bow.
You going to what in the box? Like where y'all gonna be sitting at?
To the bow. On the field.
On the field.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right.
Right there.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Us and the Chiefs.
David, you crazy.
Is it gonna be like?
Long as they got Mahomes.
You think the Chiefs gonna?
I mean, long as they got Mahomes, bro.
What did they do wrong this past Super Bowl?
Y'all were the better team this year.
Yeah.
Y'all the better team this year. I think that like seriously,
I wasn't expecting it to be that though.
I wasn't expecting Saquon to be that good. Like he's a very talented back, but I'm just like, is he gonna be that good? Like best in the league?
But they actually but like
in the defense was crazy.
The defense was stupid, but the one good thing that the Chiefs did was shut Saquon down during the Super Bowl. That's the one thing. Like,
and remember,
that's the one.
But you got to think about all the Chiefs receivers that got hurt. They got hurt last year too.
Yeah, they had some injuries.
Yeah, man. Like Mahomes, he need his weapons, man.
But
if they healthy, Lamar ain't figured them out. Lamar, is Buffalo gonna figure them out? Like, I don't know, man. I thought Buffalo had a chance last year too, but it's still Mahomes, man. Mahomes, this was what, the second Super Bowl he went to without Cheetah?
I am very happy to be here.
Go ahead, Lou.
That being said, DFW
that part.
We about to go back to Real Deal Sports Talk when I had that show.
I don't know if I'm on dope content or if I'm on DFW Shed Sessions.
Shout out to K Lou and Dope Content. He's actually doing some really good stuff with his platform, man. So shout out to K Lou. But yeah, you bring your show back, you need to have me on.
Hey,
there,
man.
I'll come on there gladly. We can talk.
We might just have to turn the live on show or no show.
We could do that. But
David and Jay.
D and J. But listen, DFW Shed Sessions, we appreciate y'all so much for tuning in, chopping up with us, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Can you put the event flyer for Uncle Jeff back on there real quick one more time for the one time? We gonna run that back. So yes, y'all make sure y'all come out, show some support. Again, this is a free show. Turn
Free 99.
Turn to your neighbor and say that ain't much.
That ain't much.
Cheapskates. Cheapskates is gonna be. I'm sorry, I said cheapskates.
Cheap
Cheapsteaks in Deep Ellum is. I'm making my return to Deep Ellum. Y'all pray my strength. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a good time, man. We got some really dope performers. That is also Uncle Jeff's album release called Self Validated, hosted by DFW Shed Sessions, man. We partner with them. It's going to be a really good time, so y'all make sure y'all come out. We also going to have Uncle Jeff in the building, man, to sit down and chop it up with us and talk about this show a little bit more. Real quick, we're going to put it back on the screen. If y'all want to donate to either PV or Townview, stuff like that, we're going to put that back on the screen. Talk about that, David, one more time.
Yes, Prairie View Foundation. Several things that you can give to for the Prairie View Foundation. Definitely want to highlight the March and Storm. That's the reason why I got to go to school, reason why I got to get a college education, playing a band instrument, and of course Townview just as well, giving up to their general fund as well. Just two great programs that are still pushing music in the best way, in my opinion, and I can be biased because I'm a product of both of them.
Yeah.
For young people that still want to do music, so. Every dollar that you donate goes directly to them, and then I can guarantee that it's going to the right place.
That's what's up, man. Well, like I said, y'all make sure y'all go support the causes, and these are some good causes, man.
Yeah,
these are good causes. Make sure our urban youth is properly being taken care of and stuff like that.
Nope.
That being said, DFW Shed Sessions, we appreciate y'all so much, and remember, it ain't gonna suck itself. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, sneak neck, paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
Bye.
Oh my God.